Good morning. I'm going to take you out to tour the border garden today. The border garden is the oldest garden on the property. It started off as many individual gardens, and over the years I've slowly joined them into one large garden. It's a mixture of natives, perennials, annuals, and it has many different shows. Now, one of its most extreme shows is mid to end summer. So we're right about to the part where it's going to start to burst. However, there are definitely some beautiful surprises that I'd like to take you along and show for you today. So grab a coffee, let's go take a walk before the 93-degree weather hits and some of the storms hit. Let's go. Starting off in the garden, we've got a lot of different things that are in bloom and a lot of things that are coming up. I'm going to start here with my elderberry lace. She got hit pretty hard by the deer this year. This is her second year in the garden. But remember, sleep, creep, and leap. So I'm really excited about next year and seeing how big she gets. She should actually fill out this entire space over time. In the background, stealing the show right now, we've got some yarrow. I mean, can it get any better than this? I love pink yarrow. I've got some red in the back and planted this from seed last year, threw this in late in the year, and she loves her spot. She's absolutely taking over, and I am here for it. We've got a lot of great natives as well. So this is a shoreline garden, and I do mix a lot of natives with perennials. And so we've got some Canadian goldenrod, I've got some various bee balm in the back, we've got some blazing star that are about ready to come and show their beautiful purple stalks. I've got some cutleaf coneflower as well coming up. In the back here we can see some hydrangea. And then I've got some bacteria that bloomed beautiful purple and one little white. And then I've peppered in some annuals just to kind of fill in the space. I have a beautiful plum tree right here. You can see the mullein in the background. And between the lace mulberry, this entire area will be filled in. So until then, I'm adding in some salvia. I might end up putting in some agastaki. The hummingbirds absolutely love this salvia, and I want to find something that I can bring in year after year, less and less annuals. So maybe some verbena, maybe some agastaki. We'll see what happens next year. But this is definitely filling out really nicely. We've got a couple of sea holly popping in throughout here. This is a really prickly, beautiful plant. The pollinators love it. You can see another right in the back. I've also got some echinops that I'm going to be planting out here. I just really love the texture and the play on colors. Bringing in as much blue and purple into this garden is important. In a couple of weeks, we're going to see a big flush of yellow. And so I'm doing my best to create color and interest in the garden. Now you can see the delphiniums right now are stealing the show, and we will get a closer look at those in just a minute. I've got some Asiatic lilies that, have been a treat for some deer, but I've got a few blooms and I'm very happy about it. Just this gorgeous crimson red, just a fun accent. This is actually a fern peony, and so this blooms early in the spring, just gorgeous. But she's starting to fill out really nicely and become quite the statement. Now I've peppered in some bubblegum petunia, saffron finch petunia. In a couple of weeks, this is just going to be a carpet of pink. And then I've sprinkled in some verbena along the way as well. Now we are going to get some storms today, so we'll see how she fares, and that's why we're going to get in and take a look today. But look at this delphinium. Just absolutely stunning. Pollinators love it. I do have it staked up, but I think maybe a quick tie might not be a bad idea. And as you come in for a close-up, you can really see how gorgeous she is. Now Down here I've got some primrose that's starting to bloom. And again paired with the bubblegum petunia from Proven Winners. I've got some thyme. We have some blazing star and some sedum. Got some hibiscus coming up. I planted a small juniper bush. This actually will get about 1 to 2 feet wide and 4 to 5 feet tall. We'll see if he likes his space. But adding in that blue and winter interest, and then here you can see how the cut leaf is very happy in its place, and the bee balm that is just about ready to start to bloom here in a few weeks. This is another Baptisia, and she bloomed early in the spring, and she is a stunner. Now as we transition over here, we have a shadier area. I've got this beautiful spruce that has just given a nice little transition. So this area is taking me a little bit of time to perfect, and I'm still kind of working on it. I've added in this weeping blue spruce this year to again add some more winter interest and also help protect shade in the afternoon as the sun sets. And then in here I've got a mix of heuchera, a stilbe that is in bloom, as you can see here. We've got some hostas. I've got some Solomon seal on the shoreline, and there's also some calendula that's self-seeded coming through. So again, in a couple of weeks, you're going to see this pop with some color. You can see the heuchera are starting to bloom as well. And for the first year, my anemones have bloomed and are starting to naturalize, which is really great. So again, just creating natural native covers, mixing in some colors and annuals and perennials to give an overall collective feel. Same with over here, we're kind of transitioning from shade back into sun. So I have planted quite a bit of Jacob's Ladder this year. These are just new babies here. They should take on nicely. Some anemones, again more calendula and hostas. And back here, we've got some beautiful plants, and I cannot remember the name of them at the moment, but we'll talk about it in a future video. And landsleaf coreopsis, self-seeding all over the garden. In probably a few days, I will cut this back for a second flush this summer. I love the color, I love the whimsy. I've got a hydrangea that I thought was dead. He's making a comeback, so we're just gonna let him do his thing, see if he survives, give him a chance. And here I've got some Culver's root. You can start to see them starting to form, but they'll form these beautiful cone white flowers that again the pollinators absolutely love. I've got a juniper tree here, again bringing in that blue interest and winter interest. Here we've got some peach and red yarrow, there's the name. And I've got some Rebecca about ready to bloom in the front. And then sealing the show in the back is Little Joe Pieweed. Again, another pollinator favorite. I've got a coralberry bush. This bush is fantastic. Fills out beautifully, can withstand really cold temperatures, and in the fall will actually develop these little pink berries, which is great. You can see the Vista bubblegum petunias are really starting to become that blanket that I count on them for to keep weeds down. As we get back here into full sun, I've got a couple different varieties of Veronica. Looks like I've had a little visitor make a bed in this one, so we'll probably cut that back in a few weeks after these blooms to get that second flush. And then more Veronica in the back, this time white. And you can see it's filled with pollinators. I've got some peonies in the background. This beautiful smoke bush I just trimmed back again, just really playing with shape. We've got a hydrangea, some coreopsis, and some aster. And earlier this season I had a deer come in and do all my cutback for me. How nice. So I do expect blooms. They will be coming, but these natural asters are definitely going to be gorgeous and give me a nice purple show. As we continue to back up here, we've got some Russian sage that will continue to get large, and this guy right here is a pineapple sage. How absolutely stunning. Even the spent blooms have this peach kind of air about them. Absolutely stunning. As we back up, again, we've got the annuals in the front of the border with some daisies. We've got our cut plant, which gets quite tall. Our petunias, calendula, and I do have a few peonies stuck here in the front as well. And as we make our way towards the back of the garden, you can see another beautiful plum tree. I'm trying out a new pruning method. It's kind of like the V shape or W method. I want to always be able to reach the fruit on my trees. So we'll see how it goes. I'm learning more and more every day. Now the back here definitely could use a little bit more love. It's again trying to naturalize. I planted some grass and some annuals back here, but as things start to and continue to develop, I'll continue to bring in more and more varieties. Now on the shoreline, I missed showing you this year, but I do have some prairie smoke, which is really, really stunning. And all of this survived. We had some pretty amazing floods this spring, and I was worried that I was going to lose most of this just due to rot. I had water at least halfway up my gardens all spring long, and they sat like that for about 3 weeks, and everything made it. My peonies made it, and it does look like I have a little pest issue with my hydrangeas. So gardens will always keep you guessing. They'll always give you something to do, something to think about, something to learn. This garden originally was just a couple of individual circle gardens. And then over the years, I continued to join them together, learn how to plant them. And now I have this beautiful border garden. A couple more weeks, we're gonna get some more height to this. It adds a lot of privacy to the property, a natural walkway. It's just been a joy. I love letting nature kind of do its thing. Again, in a few weeks, we'll bring you back, showcase to you all the growth, all the changes. We'll see lots of big flushes of yellow. Should be a pretty fun and exciting time. Well, thanks you guys for taking the tour with me today of my border garden. I'll talk to you guys very soon. I've added a few videos here to kind of reflect the journey of this garden. It wasn't always what we toured today. In fact, it started with a couple little dreams, some small gardens of plants that I picked up from friends, from families, from discount sales and salvages. I started to learn what natives really supported the area around me, and I really wanted to bring some pollinators in. I also had a few favorite perennials that I wanted to be able to add for structure, and I continued to learn. As I grew the garden, I grew myself. So it's posts like these that really help me understand how much work here has been done at the Larson House. So whether you're a veteran gardener or a beginner, take time to reflect on what you've done and know that the future is rewarded in consistency and love and imagination.